Hello, good day. You are highly welcome to the smartphone graphic design course by Wiz Graphics Academy. Okay, so now so we are going to continue our training on the elements of graphic design. Okay, and what we are going to be what you are going to learn today is about color. Okay, how color works, types of colors, okay, color harmony, all right, and color scheme. Okay, so without any further ado, so let's just head straight to what we are here for. Okay, now the second element of graphic design is color. So color is an essential tool for every graphic designer. Okay, for every graphic designer to communicate a mood or to provoke an emotional response from viewers. Okay, from your viewers. Okay, so color is a very essential tool that make things beautiful, attractive, nice. Okay, so as a graphic designer, you should be able to work with colors, and for you to be able to work with colors, you should be able to understand it as well. You should be able to know how it works. Okay, you not knowing how it works, you may misuse it. Okay, you may misuse it. So it is very important that you know how color works. So which is what I'm going to talk about in this video. Okay, now so let's continue. All right, so let's kindly look at the types of colors that we have. Okay, now the first type of color that we have is the primary color. Okay, this is the first type of color that generates every other color. Okay, so the primary color consists of the red, the yellow, and the blue. Okay, through these colors you can get every other type of color that you can ever think of. Okay, now the secondary type of color. All right, so the second type of color is the secondary colors. The secondary colors are the purple, the blue, the purple, the green, and orange. Okay, now these colors are gotten from the primary colors. Okay, for instance, when you mix red and yellow, you definitely get an orange color. When you mix the blue and the red, you get the purple, and when you mix the yellow and the blue color, you definitely get green. Okay, you can actually practice this. Okay, you can actually practice this. Okay, you can put this in practical. So you bring a red pen and blue pen. Okay, so when you put them together, you definitely get a purple color. Okay, now so let's go to the last type of color, so which is tertiary color. Okay, so the tertiary colors are created when a primary color is mixed with a secondary color. So when you mix a primary color with a secondary color, okay, so I'm going to explaining more of this type of colors when we get to the color wheel. Okay, because if I keep explaining this, you may not really understand, so I have to show you. Okay, so let's proceed. Now, so we're going to look at color harmony. Okay, so what does color harmony means? It simply entails the two-way. Okay, it simply entails the way two or more colors are being used or merged together in a particular design. So it actually involves how you mix color, how you use color, okay, to determine a particular outcome. All right, now so let's see. Okay, so we're going to look at the color wheel. Okay, because we cannot talk of color harmony, types of color, so without getting to know what the color wheel is. Now this is the color wheel. This circle thing you are seeing over here is the color wheel. Okay, so in case you haven't seen a color wheel before, this is the color wheel. So in this part of this video, I'm going to be explaining the types of color and harmonic color. So let's go back to the types of color now. Now in the types of colors, so we said the red, the yellow and the blue are the primary colors, right? Now so here we have the red, okay, the blue, okay, and the green are the primary colors. Okay, now so let's go to the secondary colors, where we have the orange and the yellow and and the purple Okay, now every other color you are seeing is the terrestrial color. Okay, so when we have the sky blue, this, okay, so let's count it: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So is a tertiary color. Okay, so this is where we have the tertiary color, while the rest are the primary and the secondary color. Okay, so when you mix some of these colors together, you definitely get any of the tertiary colors. Okay, so when you see a color wheel, simply contains the types of colors: the primary, the secondary and the tertiary colors. Okay, so now let's go to the color scheme. Okay, now there are 4 types of color scheme. There are 4 types of color scheme. Now the first one we are going to see here is called what? The monogram color scheme. Now this color scheme involves you picking a particular color and then using a different shade for this. Okay, a different shade of that particular color. For instance, you pick a yellow, then you pick a dark yellow, then you pick a yellow that is darker than the first one you choose, things like that. So this is an example. So let's see an example here. Okay, so this is an example of that type of color scheme. So whereby if you observe this design very well, you're going to see that it uses one particular color but different shade. Okay, one particular color but different shade. Okay, so these are things you should observe and these are things you should take note of. Okay, so let's say the second type of color scheme. Now the second type of color scheme is called the complementary color. The complementary color. So this kind of color entails you using colors that are opposite each other in the color wheel. Okay, in the color wheel, where you use green and red. Okay, green and red. A good example of green and red is a Christmas color. But whenever you're using a complementary color, it is important that you use a contrast color. Okay, although they are high contrast color, okay, complementary colors are high contrast color. Okay, but when using it, it is important that you use a color that has a very less contrast. Example is white. Okay, you can use green, white and red. Okay, so let's see an example. So this is an example of a complementary color. This is an example of a complementary color. So when you look very closely in this color wheel, you will observe that both colors are opposite each other. both colors are opposite each other. All right, so this is an example of a complementary color. Okay, now so let's move to the next type of color. Now the next type of color is a analog color scheme. Okay, this analog color scheme entails you using the same color in a particular range, in the base range. Okay, this color scheme uses color that lie next to one another. Okay, that lies next to one another. So this type of colors, for instance, I will use this red, I'll use red, I'll use this, okay, and I will use this purple. Okay, I'm going to use this and this. So this, if I use this kind of color scheme, definitely it is called a analog kind of color scheme. So let's see an example. Now a very good example is this design. Okay, it actually used analog color scheme here. So this is a very good example of how it works. Okay, so I usually use this mostly if I'm to design a children poster. So yeah, a poster that is meant for children. So I usually use this kind of color because it really bring out the children kind of feelings. Okay, so as I've said in the introduction of this topic, colors are used to, you know, pass an emotional message. Okay, so let's go to the third. All right, now so the third one we are going to look at is the tragic color. Okay, the tragic color. Now this kind of color, now the word tragic is actually derived from the word three. Okay, so you actually get it from the word three. All right, so it is based on you using three different colors that are spread evenly. Yeah, for instance, here we have the orange, okay, we have the green, and we have the purple. Yeah, so this is an example of a tragic color, but I'm going to show you an example here. So let's see one. Now this is it. This is a very good example of a tragic color. Okay, of a tragic color. Okay, if you observe, they are spread evenly. Okay, so these are things you should also watch out for. Okay, when you are picking out or when you want to use this kind of color for your design project. Okay, so let's see the last one. This is a split complementary color. Okay, so the last color scheme is split complementary color. Okay, now split complementary color uses a base color, okay, and the two colors that are adjacent to its complementary color. Okay, so this is the base color. Okay, so the one here is the base color, and these two are the ones that are adjacent to the base color. Okay, so let's see a very good example of the split complementary color. Okay, now so this is a very good example of the split complementary color. Okay, where the designer used these two color and then make use of this blue. Yeah, this blue. Okay, so this is a very good example of a split complementary color scheme. Okay, so I've discussed what this color scheme entails. Okay, but I want you to note this. Okay, this is a very simple technique. A very simple technique if you are to use colors for your project. Okay, so while you consider your color scheme, you may also want to decide the shade, the tint that are appropriate for your project. Okay, it's very important. Not all shade. Now you may think that orange color works very well for your design project, but no, it could be that it is red orange. Okay, so these are things you should consider, and the easiest way to go about color combination, okay, is by using a dark color on a light background or a light color on a dark background. Because if you observe from the designs you have been checking out, you will observe that they follow this rule. The simplest way to match color is by using a dark color on a very light background, or use a light color on a dark background. All right, so that is it for this video on color and type of color. So I'll be talking about psychology of color, okay, and also to get more insights about this topic, I'll be dropping some files, okay, some files which contain color background, okay, and how to go about you combining colors together. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.